laughing, pretty baby. Someday you're gonna be crying. Yeah, you've been laughing, pretty baby. Someday you're gonna be crying. Further on up the road, you'll find out I wasn't lying. Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, darling, just you wait and see. Work's done and the weekend's here. I'm up at dawn, gotta make it clear. The hunt is on, I'm feeling that fire. Got FOMO bad and I'm down to the wire. Rolling out in the morning light, chasing that beast that's out of sight. Got my spot all picked out right, gonna score that bottle tonight. Oh, but the whiskey tubers got there first, left me standing feeling cursed. No JD, no Wild Turkey's best, no Russell's 15 left on the shelf. Guess I'll see if I like the rest. Charlie, Jeff, and Rob SS, sipping up all the liquid joy. Cast 529, got the last sweet sip. Guess I need to learn to double click and hit scribe quick. Walk in the store, see a big guy there. I asked, did you score? What did you say?
I can reach out. That could be one of our things we do. You know, we're food. We're talking about doing these commercials or these ads or these videos for these different products. We can reach out to a manufacturer that makes it today, get one, and you do the video. And sit there and go, oh, my. I'm riding the bike and going
with the glitter in my hand and burn.
No doubt that.
All right,
that
no, hold on, Torp. It does not say who is in my ass. Oh my God, it does. If you separate it, it just says who's in my ass.
in my ass.
Oh shit.
Who in my ass?
Sub to Bourbon and Ballz and find something new. So I'll raise my glass to the whiskey crew. Those tubers know just what to do.
Here you go.
Hey everybody, I'm Bob.
Hey guys, Jeff here.
And
Welcome.
there's Charlie behind the scenes.
What up, chat? I'm I like this position. I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and listen to you all, and then I get to play with chat for the rest of the while.
Yeah, others may like it as well.
Sorry, I didn't talk about the intro. I'm just used to going first.
No,
It's been a year since I've been on, but I'm just like, I always went first, right?
Yeah, we got special guests, like you said. Bob's here tonight. Charlie's off screen because of our guest we have up tonight. It's Old Line Spirits. It's American Single Malt, and as you guys know, Charlie is not an American Single Malt fan. So, out of respect, Charlie.
Well, because I heard these are nice people, so I don't want to be disrespectful. So it's best I just do something else.
If you go back to some of our very early episodes, even with some of the bourbons, I was a big fan of Castle Key in the beginning, and Charlie didn't like that because of the mash bill, the high malted barley content in that. So, it's just not kind of his jam. He's not no disrespect intended, right, Charlie? Just not your thing.
They said the audio is off. Hold on one second here. Charlie, you look good sitting there. Funny. Let me look at the audio here. I can even see my mousey.
Mm-hmm.
So
I bet you Charlie's got it set up that he's the only one they can hear.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You got some. Yeah.
what?
Okay.
That's there.
Speaker. Okay.
There. They should be able to hear. Let's do an audio check. Make sure everybody can hear you.
Everybody hear us now? Check.
Check.
All right. Audio is good for Gandy, so let's roll.
All right. Good deal. Yeah, we're doing a little something different tonight with kind of preparing for next week's episode. We got mics down off of our booms down onto the table, so a little bit different.
Yeah,
But,
and why is next week?
Well, next week, if you haven't heard, we're going to have Bill McBrayer here in the house May 8th at 8 o'clock next week to announce the release of the Judge Batch 5.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about more of that later. But and then today's hashtag is
Old Line Spirits, or just Old Line.
yes, Old Line will win you the 4 up there.
Right. Yep. We've got samples already poured for all 4 of these, and we'll go over these tonight with Mark from Old Line Spirits. We'll get him on here shortly. But
Seems like my mic is the only one that's on.
did you turn anything down on?
No, tap your mic. It's reading.
Okay.
Are they still not hearing us?
I don't know. Torp is too. Yeah, Charlie's 2 times. The reason why I'm 2 times louder is because my mic is right next to my mouth.
Well, imagine that.
All right, here we go.
Turn up the gain on this mic.
I just turned mine down.
Okay. Well, turn this one up.
I did.
Okay. That one should pick up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll try that again. But you want to go through the list of who we got here so far, Charlie?
Sure. Cheers to Dave. Thanks to you for coming on. Cheers, Grinch and Burl Ives. That's what he said.
Oh.
Nice.
Cheers to you, Gandy.
Nice.
Yes, I am sideline reporting tonight. O-line is fantastic. Killer rum as well. So hopefully you guys get to talk about that tonight. Let's see here. Cheers to you, Torp. As always, I always appreciate you coming on. We always appreciate you coming on. Gary McDonald, cheers to you. I'm going to make him. There you go. I got him. All right. Game of Blue Wrench. All right. Mr. Richie J, cheers to you. Thanks for coming on, my Mississippi friends, and Mrs. Lori J. Matt B, cheers. Appreciate you coming on.
Matt.
Yeah, the OG, right?
All right.
So
First time winner.
I don't know why why he never was a British.
Mr. Lopez.
All right. So Brian and Shauna, cheers to you guys 529. Appreciate you guys always coming on. Jenny B, cheers to you. And hello, everyone, as well. Keith Miller's on tonight. He won a few weeks ago, didn't he?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Donner Pass Whiskey. Cheers. It's your Friday. So
Nice.
Enjoy your weekend. And then we have Mr. Mom. We missed you last night. We did the Mr. Mom trivia on Cast 529, which yours truly won that one.
Yes, he did.
I just have to say that. So cheers to you, and thanks for coming on. Let's see, Mr. Lopez. Nice. We haven't seen you in a minute. So cheers to you. Appreciate you coming on. Mr. Lopez, haven't seen you in a minute. Tom Black is on. He's becoming a regular, and I appreciate you for doing so. Cheers to you. And then we have Bourbon Nerd. Cheers to you for coming on. Mr. Morrow, cheers to you. Mr. Limestone Farms, I appreciate you coming on. West Virginia Bourbon Guy, cheers to you. Appreciate you coming on. Mr. Steven Stone, cheers to you. Appreciate you coming on as well. And then my favorite bourbon nerd, Life on the Patio, cheers to you. And yes, hashtag Oline. If you guys want to win samples tonight, what's in front of us there. And they'll go over here in a minute as far as what is what they're offering. And yes, 21090. You guys are actually the first channel or the main channel that I watched that I got to learn about O-line. It got me interested, and it got Jeff interested too. So that's how we reached out to them. Thanks to your guys' shows that you guys do on talking them up. So don't forget to subscribe and like to 21090. They go on, I believe, on Tuesdays. If I'm not mistaken. So cheers to you guys. All right, I think I am caught up for now, and then as we go along, I will probably say cheers, through the chat, and we'll kind of go from there.
Did you see Tom Morrow? Did you get him?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
okay,
next
cool.
Limestone.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's roll.
Well, I got a few announcements to go over real quick before we get going. Like I said, May 8th, which is next Thursday night, we got Bill McBrayer. May 15th, we have Watch Hill Proper. Will be on the show. May 22nd, we have Liberty Pole out of Washington, Pennsylvania. And then May 29th, I don't know if anybody remembers or not, Mia Albal. She's she was with JT Mellick. Well, there's been a little bit of a surprise and a change, and she's no longer with JT Mellick. She's now out on her own doing her own thing. So she was a really good guest that we had a while back, and she's going to be back on the show on May 29th. So that's our May bill right there for shows. Let's see. Did you mention our premium pours tonight?
I'm not sure if I did, but go ahead.
All right. We got the premium pours for tonight are the Woodford Reserve Chocolate Whisper Redux or Redu, however you want to pronounce that. And then we've got 3 samples of different Barrel Kings behind me up here will be the premium pours for tonight. For every $5 super chat that you do, you will gain an entry into the drawing for those. And then we got the hashtag Old Line Spirit or Old Line for the flight giveaway. So that's all I've got right now for announcements. We do have a little game for later on for the Derby coming up. The Kentucky Derby is this Saturday.
Yeah, you guys will be able to pick your horses. I'll put it up on a screen for those who aren't familiar with how the Derby works or who's in the Derby. So you guys there's 21 horses?
20 horses now.
20 horses.
Yeah.
20 horses. You guys will be able to pick. There's some strategy involved because the winner of the horse all those people who pick that winner will go into a drawing, and then we will have a giveaway at that. So you may or may not want to be in the one that has a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And for people who don't know, Journalism is the favorite. He's going off at 3-1 right now.
Okay.
And I was telling Charlie just before I got here, there was an announcement that one of Bob Baffert's 2 horses that are in the race, Rodriguez, is getting scratched due to a bruise on its hoof. And Baeza, which was the horse on alternate number 21, is now in the field of 20. So, and I think Charlie changed that on the wheel. So
Yes.
Or on the information. So, but I could bore you guys to death with Derby talk for a while. I don't know if these guys really want me doing that or not, but
Yeah, maybe we'll do that in a bit.
okay, yeah, we'll save that boring my boring horse stuff for another time.
And then Gandy, thanks to you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, neat little Barrel King. I'll tell you what, Barrel King, all their samplings are just,
Well, the best one I think is that Stag Barai.
yeah. I have a little bit left.
Yeah. That's not in the sample pack. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it might be later. We'll see. I can always change up any day. So, you know how I get when I get a few drinks in. So, all right, let's get our guest on.
Yep.
On
So
the
we
front stage. So you ready to go?
Yep, we've got Mark McLaughlin. He's the co-founder of Old Lion Spirits. Mark, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and where your distillery's at.
Yeah, no, well, thank you again for having me on. Appreciate being here. And yeah, Mark, I'm one of the co-founders of Old Lion here. I'm sitting in the still house right now. People sometimes ask if it's a background. I'm just literally sitting in the warehouse here. So, but yeah, so I'm originally from Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. I see that Celtics jersey there, Bob. So I'm not sure if you're a Boston kid too.
All right, excellent.
Sexy Beast. That's got to be Andy, I'm guessing. Maybe Todd. Either way, I'll take it. Yeah, just outside of Boston, and but I was a Navy guy after college. I joined the Navy and flew planes for about 10 years as a navigator, weapon systems operator, kind of like Goose and Top Gun, if you will. The guy without the good eyesight that still wanted to fly, and then did that for 10 years and got out of that service. And my wife's from the Mid-Atlantic, so I ended up moving to the Baltimore area, and didn't like my career in finance, so decided to start making whiskey, which is the next logical conclusion, I guess.
So, being in Baltimore, are you a Ravens fan?
I'm still a hometown, Pats,
Thank you.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of friends down here during the summer and fall, but you got to stick with your born and raised.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
right. That's why I'm a Steeler fan living in Cincinnati.
Hey, I respect it.
We don't hold it against you.
No,
That much.
no.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
So, as far as your line of whiskeys, are you primarily the American single malt? Or what other products do you do?
That is it. We do several things, but to your point, primarily like American single malt is what we built the company around. So to kind of explain why, and besides the fact that we love the category, but we didn't set out. Arch, my business partner, and I, a Navy buddy of mine I used to fly with, we started this together, and we didn't set out to make American single malt. In fact, when we started to quit our jobs to start this business, we had never heard of an American single malt whiskey before. We didn't know it existed. And so we set out to make bourbon for all the reasons anybody would, it's an amazing category. We're Americans. We love bourbon. And rye, we love rye, and we're in Maryland. So bourbon and rye, we're just kind of calling our names. And that's what we set out to do. And where we took an immediate kind of turn is very shortly after quitting my job in the finance world, in between the Navy and this, I went to the American Distilling Institute conference which was in Seattle that year, and met a gentleman who was looking to sell his business. And he was a veteran. He's a Vietnam guy. I'm an Iraq guy. We just hit it off. And Bob Stilnovich was his name, and he had a small distillery. He and his business partner, Jim Caudill, had a wonderful little distillery called Golden Northwest Distillery north of Seattle, and they were looking to retire. Jim was sick, and it was just kind of time for them to, pass the torch. And they were making this amazing single malt whiskey, which I'd never heard of before, and we just fell in love with it. So, the concept was to make bourbon and rye, and we ended up moving out there, living in Bob's guest house, learning how to make his single malt, and then buying the, lock, stock, and barrel, and moving it back to Baltimore and kind of growing it from there. So that is what we built the company around. We do make a small bit of rye whiskey, a high rye malt. So is it Chris who's off camera or
That's Charlie.
Charlie, yeah, Charlie, you probably hate it. I'm sorry.
Not your fine.
But yeah, high rye malt whiskey. Excuse me, a high malt rye whiskey rather. And then we import a wonderful rum that somebody mentioned earlier, I think in the comments, from the Dominican Republic, and we do some vodka as well. But really, the 95% of our time and effort and focus is on the American single malt category.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, while we go through what we got here, and thank you very much for sending us these bottles.
Yeah,
Very
of
much
course.
appreciate it. We've got the first one I got here is it says the American Single Malt Whiskey Flagship 95, and that's a 95 proof. You want to tell us a little bit about this so we can sample it?
Absolutely, yeah. So, well, before I get into that specific one, the overall kind of overarching concept behind what we do here is that we're trying to make one way to put it is a single malt whiskey for a bourbon drinker. Understanding that there are guys like Charlie who just don't like malt, and I totally respect that. It just is what it is, right? But there's, in general, I think that for every Charlie, there's 9 other people who are bourbon drinkers who might not have found that single malt whiskey that really speaks to them. So we're trying to deliver a single malt whiskey to the bourbon rye drinker, and they can say, "Oh wow, I can get behind a malt because this delivers it in a very American style." So the way we're doing that, and there's a lot of different ways, but the big two are, one, pretty much everything we do is non-peated. Even though there are so many non-peated scotches, there's just that heavy association in the American mind of Scotch equals smoky. And so we wanted to avoid that for at least the first few years of our business. And then also we're aging everything in number 4 char virgin oak. So we're embracing that American caramel, vanilla, baking spice forward character that we get in bourbon and rye aging. So another way I describe it is like, not that I'm a DJ, but I picture like a DJ booth with all those dials and knobs and the things going up and down. In my mind, if you had those those dials going up and down, a bourbon and our single malt would have probably the same dials. They would just be delivered at very different levels, right? So it's delivering flavors that a bourbon drinker is already familiar with and comfortable with and likes, but just delivering them at different ways. So so the Flagship 95 is our, thanks fellas, is our really it's our kind of base level, entry level, like, hey, meet old line, and here's what we do. So the baseline aging profile on everything you're going to taste today is a minimum 4 years in 53-gallon ASBs up to about 8 years. So the 4-year-olds have 4s and 5s are a little more fruit forward, 7s and 8s are a little more caramel, baking spice forward, things like that. So that's that blend that we love. And then the 95 proof, we used to deliver this bottle this at 86 proof back in the day, and we determined that, and it was that fine line of, okay, what is that approachability factor for people who don't drink a lot of whiskey, but also have it be, robust enough for a whiskey aficionado to like. And the 86, I think, was a little too light. So we ended up going 95. We kind of experimented with 90 to 97.5, and 95 is where we landed. So for us, this is that, really just say, hey, here's who we are. Here's what we're doing. If you taste this whiskey, you get a good idea of what we're all about. And I'll pause there because you're sipping it to give you a chance to jump in.
Well, I mean, on the nose, it's got a sweet, kind of fruity nose on it. What are you getting, Bob? I mean, you're the connoisseur on the on the notes.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a hint of grassiness in it. Definitely not too hateful. And I'm curious because I've only had a couple of American single malts. I kind of originally come from a Scotch background before I started drinking bourbons with Charlie. I'm curious, and maybe have we had like a American single malt like 101 here?
No, we have not.
I'm just curious. Could you speak a little bit? Obviously, there's the geography with Scotch and the different regions, that make the differences in Scotch. But as far as American go, like, do you have like a wider area to play with in terms of what it makes American single malt an American single malt?
Yes, it's a great question. So a great topic. So the category that we're in, officially, you guys are probably familiar, but maybe people watching might not be, is that American single malt whiskey didn't become an official category until a few months ago in December. Mm-hmm. So for a long time, guys that were doing what we're doing, which there are a growing number of us, making what we called American single malt. We're actually making something called American malt whiskey, which is, think of the definition of bourbon and just remove the word corn and add in the words malted barley. So at least 51% malted barley. And that is really what the American malt whiskey is defined. So what we've been doing as a team, as a group of people producing this, is saying, hey, we want single malt to be a little more defined than that, but not too much. So when you look at bourbons and ryes in America and scotches, they're pretty strictly defined, and that makes complete sense to me because those categories have been developed over hundreds of years, and they're really proud of what they are. And they don't want some knucklehead like me coming in doing something weird and saying, "Hey, try my bourbon," and making the category look bad. They're really and this isn't a bad thing, in a protectionist stance, right? They're saying, if you want to make bourbon, come on, make it, but here's how you got to do it within this range, right? And that makes sense for a mature category. American single malt is the opposite. We're so new, nascent, that we wanted to have a little more flexibility. So what we and other producers did was we banded together, and actually, and Old Line was not one of the first. We were maybe in the second wave of distilleries coming in and saying, hey, we're this American single malt producers. We want to make this commission that says, hey, government, here's how we think this should be defined, because we know the feds eventually are going to define it. And if we have no say in it, it's going to be a shit show. So might as well put to them saying, hey, we all feel that this is a reasonable assumption. So what we've landed on is it's 100% malted barley, just like a single malt scotch. The only grain we can use is malted barley, no corn, no wheat, no rye. Unlike a scotch, unlike a single malt scotch, we can use a column still or a pot still in America. In Scotland, it can only be a pot. And then, unlike a bourbon, we can use virgin oak or second, third, fourth use oak. So we have no limitation on the cooperage we can use.
Okay, I wondered about that. Yeah, with bringing the barrel aging. Yeah,
which I think is great. So you have guys like us, like Old Line, we're using virgin oak because we want to, but down the street or a few hours away in Virginia Distilling Company, they're making a great whiskey and they're doing it with second and third use kind of cooperage. And so it allows the category to have this kind of breadth of flavors that I think is going to be really interesting in the next 10, 20 years to see them come out. But also there's guardrails on there. You can't get too weird, but there's enough latitude for it to be a very interesting category. I think it'll be a lot of cool things to be coming out in the next few years.
No, I appreciate that explanation because I wasn't sure where the restrictions were and where you could go with things. So that's great. And
and being able to use secondary barrels, second and third use barrels, kind of opens up the avenue as far as what you can use, right? I mean, I see we have a sherry cask here, which is a wine, and I don't know if you can open up to tequila or something like that, where you can open that up to more of a finished type of a bourbon, American single malt whiskey.
Yeah, the definition, the way the definition came about, and this is my words, but I think most other ASM producers would probably agree with this sentiment, is that right now we want more people making it, right? Like for us, we want the category to grow. So every person out there, so removing, putting some guardrails on, but removing most limitations. Like a good example is a scotch of any character, whether it's single malt or whatever, has to be at least 3 years old. There's no, just like a bourbon, there's no minimum age statement on our single malt. You could do a 1 day old, just like a 1 day old bourbon. Right. I wouldn't taste that great, but you could. And what we like about that is that, when we started out, we were using smaller barrels and we phased them out a long time ago. But we benefited from that ability to do a 2.5-year-old and a 10-gallon barrel. And we always knew we'd get better whiskey out of bigger barrels for longer, but it gave us that stepping stone. And it'd be kind of a dick move for us to then say to somebody else behind us, no, you can't do that. It's got to be at least 4 years old. So we like that it allows younger players to come in and grow the category, with us.
Yeah. Tour pack question.
Anything floor malted?
So all of our malting. No, the short answer is no floor. So we don't do any malting here in this building. One way that Arch, my business partner, described it, as far as the way we look at it, it's kind of like, Ford makes cars, they don't make tires. For us, I love the idea of malting someday. Right now, my head explodes thinking about just trying to wrap my head around how that would work. So I love the malting process, but we don't do that here. Like a vast majority of distilleries, 99.9% of them, we order in our malt from a malt house. So we use a place in Vancouver, Washington, right outside of Portland, Oregon, called Great Western, is where we get most of our malt. They've been around forever. And that's the same malt house that our forebears, Bob and Jim, use. So we've kept them. They're great. And then one thing I neglected to mention is that, and this is a big part of our story, is that doesn't pertain to malting per se, but when we moved our company from the West Coast to Baltimore, it's a whole other episode of just the whole story here. But long story short, we ended up having about a 2-year gap from when we bought that business and when we actually opened in this facility here. And we were bottling some of the products that we had purchased from Bob and Jim, but we weren't making any more because this place wasn't open and producing yet. So we ended up working with Middle West Spirits out in Columbus, Ohio. I'm sure you guys know them well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Ryan out there could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure we were their first partner out there as far as doing contract distilling with them. And what they were able to let us do is they were the only people at the time who were allow us to bring in our grain, our yeast, and actually be involved in the process, which was at the time unheard of. No one would, if you wanted to buy, you could buy a bourbon or a rye off of kind of a sushi menu, which is no shame in that. It's just what it's what it was. But no one was making malt for sale, and let alone no one was letting you bring in your own yeast. And those guys let us do that. So that's been a big part of our story, and I want to make sure that I always bring them up because we wouldn't be here without their help.
Right. And over the last few years, I mean, they've really kind of exploded as far as the contract distillation. I mean, they're like one of the largest around here anyway.
They're huge. I haven't been out there. Arch has been out. My partner in this has been out there since they put in their new stuff out outside the city, which you said is just enormous. I mean, even the stuff they had before that I saw was to me very big. And it's they're just growing like crazy, and they've been nothing but phenomenal partners to us. So they allowed us to do something that no one else would do, is scale up our whiskey on our terms with a partner that we trusted, and that was amazing.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see. And this, by the way, this 95 was really good.
No, and I have to say, I'm really impressed with the finish on this. I mean, I love the taste, but I feel like the barrel, the oak almost came out more in the finish than it did in the taste itself, for me anyway. And my only reference point is Scotch. I know we were having some audio problems at the beginning of the show, but I kind of come from Scotch originally. In the 90s, I was drinking a lot of Scotch, but it always reminds me of I had within the last couple of years an aged it was a 10-year Dewars, and I know that's a blended, but the finish on that is very reminiscent of that, and it feels like it's maybe aged a little more than it actually is. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you, Bob. It's it's funny. One thing I describe to people sometimes is to me the 95 proof is it's bourbon on the nose and malt on the finish. Which it sounds like you got kind of the opposite, but that's just like, I love that. Just how each person's palate picks up on different things. And,
right.
Yeah. But thank you for the kind words.
Oh, you're welcome. It's very good.
So where we go next here? We got 200 proofers. We got one is the sherry cask, and then we've got the other one here, which is the Caribbean rum.
So I'm torn. So normally what I would do would be the 95 up to the Navy strength, then to the finishes. But the way you have them, at least for the way I'm looking at it, I kind of like that lineup you have now. So let's go to the rum next.
Okay.
Rum finish. And then we'll do the Navy strength last. I think that could be cool. So these are part of what we call our double oak program. And as you guys are probably aware, double oak typically, in my opinion, connotes virgin oak more than one time, like Woodford double oak. We use the term, frankly, because someone at the TV, the feds, said that American single malts can't use the word finish, which makes no sense. But once you get a no, making a yes out of a no at the government is very hard. So we sidestepped that by calling it double oak to connote that it's in two different barrels, right? But it's not the most, we're used to it now, but it's a term that we always explain to people that it's not virgin oak twice, it's virgin oak and then that finishing barrel. So, but you guys are sipping on the Caribbean rum finish. So I mentioned a little bit on the way into this that Old Line, one of the things we do is we import a blend of rum from the Dominican Republic. It's a barrel-aged rum, aged in used bourbon cooperage for at least 7 years, up to 11 years. So it's a very nicely aged rum. And we do it for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons we do it is that we'll take some of that rum and we'll put it into our empty ASM, American Single Malt Cooperage, and finish that rum for up to 1 to 3 years typically. And then when we empty that, well, first of all, we have a very great, single malt finished rum, which we love. but also we have a seasoned barrel that we can then put single malt back into. So that's what you're sipping on now. Is that so? It was virgin oak aged and then finished for the back of the label. Probably should tell you in that batch how long it was in there for. Usually it'll say how long the finishing time was.
It says that there was a white oak for 4.3 years. It was a new oak, char number 4. And then the white oak Caribbean rum was 8 months. And the entry proof on the rum was, I guess, this into the rum barrel was at 123 proof.
That sounds about right. Yeah, we try to for anything that's a small batch or a single barrel, we try to just put all that information on the back. When it gets to things that are going to be more enduring lines, like the flagship 95, like the profile is the flavor profile should be consistent, but the number of number 4-year-old barrels versus 5 versus 6 are going to change each batch little by little. So we can't put all the details on there for bigger batch stuff, but small batch stuff we try to put it all on there. And we just think that rum and the single malt just kind of really do well together. We were inspired to do this by the Balvenie Caribbean cask, which I'm sure a lot of you know, which I think is a really nice whiskey. So,
easy.
Yep. Well, this is going to Charlie. He asked
Why
for
did you
this.
pour that much,
I didn't pour that much.
dude?
Charlie, I won't be offended if you don't like it.
This is the 95 flagship,
Okay.
95 proof.
Fair enough.
Yep. He heard Bob's description, and I think it intrigued him a little bit. There is one American single malt that we have found that Charlie did like, and he did it on the blind.
But I did also say I wouldn't buy it.
He wouldn't buy it, but it was Yellowstone American single malt that he did on a blind, and he prayed that it wasn't American single malt, but it happened to be. So we did find one.
Hey.
So no, Charlie still no.
Hey, you know what you like, and I respect that. It's for me, it's like gin. I know. I'm sure if I keep looking, I'll find a gin that I really like. But for me, gin is like it's a band that I can respect, but I don't like them. Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like they're not my style. I respect that they're talented, they're amazing. Like they're but yeah.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. Have you tried both dry and floral or infused gins?
Short answer is yes.
Okay.
I do need to do more though. I mean, I know there's one out there that I'll respond to.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I typically prefer dry gins myself, but then the Bombay Blue Sapphire is a really good infused gin. And I think part of that is because it's more subtle. Have you tried that one before?
I've had the regular Bombay Sapphire. Is this a different?
Yeah, there's a dry, and then there's a blue.
I had the dry then. Okay.
Okay, yeah. The blue is like subtly infused. I that's kind of one of my favorites. So I would just maybe suggest that one if you haven't tried it yet.
I will never stop trying. I mean, and I'll enjoy it, but I'll be like, it's kind of one of those things where I'll have one and be like, okay, and then I'll go back to whatever I was drinking.
See, I'm with Mark. I'll never stop trying. And I guess that's key. As long as you don't give up, then eventually you'll find something.
Yeah, eventually. What do you think of this?
I mean, for me, this it's incredibly smooth. By the way, maybe my tastes aren't as big into the sweets as much, so this is maybe a little too sweet for me. There's an interesting dryness to it. I don't. Almost like a tannin kind of quality to it. I definitely don't hate it.
Sure. Yeah.
It's different. I think I prefer the flagship, but this is not bad at all. Just very different to me compared to the other.
The rum finish to me, from what I experience, there's people who go crazy for it, and there's people who kind of like you are like, sure, it's. But the people who really respond to it, they love it. So it's, but yes, you're not alone in being like, hey, this is good, but you might not reach for it twice, right? Which I get. It's just
Well, and I'm kind of with you, Bob. I mean, it is a little sweet. I do get that rum.
Which one is this?
This is the one that's got the rum fed, the Caribbean rum.
Let me see the bottle.
Oh, we might have found the winner.
This is a good one. I like this one.
Wow. All right. You won Charlie over with that one. That's a pretty impressive feat.
With the 95 or with the rum?
With the rum. Yeah, with the rum.
Right.
I like this.
Wow. Everybody get that?
Yeah, Mikey likes it.
Mikey, that's This is very good. I might have to come back on camera for this. This is good. Mark, this is great. I'll be damned.
It's one of the few times he hasn't made that face when
I
he
know.
tries an American single malt.
Yeah. Kind of got
Good job. Good Michael. That one's better. A lot better than the also.
You think so?
Yeah, that's probably better balls.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I guess it is because that's the one you only like. All right. So moving on. This one is the sherry cask.
Yeah.
Double
So,
oak series as well.
This is our this is our longest running finish that we've done. This is probably, I think, the 6th or 7th iteration we've done, and we've gone back and forth a bit with Oloroso sherry and PX sherry. I believe the one I sent you was Oloroso, the most recent one, and this one we love it. So when we started doing barrel finishes, we kind of opened our aperture up pretty wide just to say, hey, which ones are going to mix best, basically, mesh well with our distillate and our whiskey, and also which ones are going to be commercially viable. And those two things aren't always, synonymous. There's certain ones, like a good example is like our Sauterne finish is one of our best finishes in my opinion. And people who love it, but it's not really all that, you put a Sauterne finish on the shelf and does it, unless you're a real whiskey aficionado, that probably isn't going to draw you in. So what's that balance of the best quality and also the things that are going to be really things that we can actually move in the market? The sherry's been a win on both fronts for us. So this is, blended that 48-year-old in virgin oak. And then I believe this was, it's about 2 years, I think, on this batch in used Oloroso sherry cask. So the Oloroso, for those of you who aren't familiar, is that if you have the sherries that go from dry to sweet, Oloroso is kind of right in the middle. It's kind of medium sweet, a little bit nutty, but yeah, go on.
And this is a bourbon nose, and this is a lovely nose. I haven't sipped it yet, but I love the nose. I love the nose on this.
Now, where would we be able to say, find out that this is a Oloroso?
Wow.
Because I don't see it anywhere. It just says aged in a virgin American oak, finished in ex sherry casks.
Yeah. Does the front? I forget on this one if we put it on the front or not.
No, it's on the front and then on the back.
Yeah, so it used to be every batch we used to have it kind of like that. The rum finish you saw had all the details on there.
Yeah.
And when this became a kind of an enduring item, that was going to be each finish time might be a little bit different. We took that off and put on the flavor profile on the back. But I think we mistakenly put off what cask it is. So yeah, this was Oloroso. So we'll need to put back on there so people know what it is. Now, sometimes it might be actually a combination of PX and Oloroso. We haven't determined if there's going to be a set profile or if we want it to kind of year to year be a little bit different. It's one of the things we're still experimenting with.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. It does got a.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the nose is.
I love the nose on this.
To me, it's like brandied cherries and molasses, and I just love it. Yeah, it's almost like a holiday fruitcake. Although I hesitate to say that because some people get fruitcake and they don't like it. But just think of the smell. Think of all the things that make up a fruitcake, like molasses, vanilla, maybe a little cocoa, brandied fruit. All those things, those are amazing components, and that's kind of what I get on the nose there.
Yeah, I really like the color on this too. It's got that like a deep amber color.
Yeah, the sherry cask put in a real nice color.
Yeah.
And these are at both this one and the rum are both at 100 proof. I think you mentioned that.
Yep.
For us, that 100 proof is it's kind of our, if we don't know what else to do, 100 is like, why not? Like 100 is like probably in our mind right down the fairway, one of the safest proofs because it's going to be complex and whiskey forward enough for a whiskey aficionado.
Yeah.
And it isn't going to blow you out of the water if you're new to whiskey either. So that 100 proofs for us, when in doubt, 100 never goes wrong.
Yeah. I'm picking up the sherry for sure on this. That kind of the dry wine kind of note on it.
Yeah, I almost kind of got a little like dark berry kind of thing
Mhm.
for me on the taste, and the finish is excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, this is if you're trying to capture the bourbon crowd, I think for me this is um, man, it's right there, man. It's really good,
Yeah.
really good.
I'm glad to hear it. It is, yeah, we've been thrilled with it, and yeah, we do some other finishes that have been very popular. Like Madeira is great. I mentioned Sauterne, Muscatel. We've only done one barrel of that, but I loved it. But this sherry, this will be. We'll never stop doing the sherry finish. It's always going to be part of our
Wow.
Yeah, that finish is nice and
Mhm.
warm. It's a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of hanging on the
That's
tongue a
still
little bit.
going.
Yeah.
Yes, it's that's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I love that finish too. Yeah.
Didn't win Charlie on this one, but it is nice. It is a really nice finish.
Well,
Yeah.
Charlie can fuck off.
Absolutely love it. That's the best part. That's going to be on my side. Well, the show. That is the best line ever.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to start the show with him, and look, I could tell you some stories, man.
Charlie, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know you are.
I've got that same thing.
Anthony Hall them over at Tuesday Binding. I think give them a shout out too. I didn't even know them well. And that's how I learned about you guys, and it's just you always want to celebrate the craft whiskeys out there, and I think that's where we're at in our journey.
Right.
We're past the legacies, and I think that craft is for us. Craft's where it's at. So cheers to you guys for doing. I mean, hey, you know what? You're 1 out of 3 for me. That's Hall of Fame material, man.
I appreciate that very much. And then, and like to your point, like there's so much good, there's so much interesting stuff happening out there. I think it just takes a while, right? And Old Line definitively included. It took us a while to get our feet under us, and we had a head start, right? We apprenticed, and so we were standing on shoulders of people who went before us, and it still took us a while to really hit our stride. So now, I think that the distilleries that started, 8-10 years ago, like we did, are really starting to put out some interesting stuff. And I applaud you guys for looking at, craft producers, because I think there's, they're not all wins, right? But there's a lot of wins out there that are yet to be found, I think.
Right. And, like I said, there is a lot of good out there. And one of the things that we always talk about with the craft distilleries is you're able to pivot much quicker than the big guys are, as far as what the trends are and where things might be going. You're able to address that quicker just because of, the sheer size of what who you are.
Sure.
And what you do. So that's kind of like, plus we seem to get a lot more variety from a craft distiller than we do the big boys, basically. So
yeah, you're encouraged as a small producer to kind of find your own way, right? And that forces you're forced to kind of if I try to do exactly what one of the big producers are doing, they're always going to do it better. They've been doing it for forever, right? So kind of try to find the fight that we can win, which is one of the great things about being American single malts is that we're I'm looking behind me. We have about 2,000 barrels, which is a drop in the bucket to a big producer. To us, it's a lot, and that's probably, if I had to guess, the third or fourth, maybe fifth biggest collection of American single malt barrels that exist in the world, right? So we're nobody, right? We're a 7-person operation. So as small as that is, it is in our category big, and the big boys now have to play catch up with us in this category, right? So if they want to beat us, so it's it doesn't make it easy, but it makes it a possibility that we could succeed in that ecosystem.
right. And well, and that being said, I mean, some of the big boys are trying. There are some single malts out there, and they're just not there.
Correct. Yep. Agreed. Bullet, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam put out Claremont Steep, and I agreed. I think that I'm biased clearly, but I think that and those distilleries put out phenomenal products in many, many ways. But as far as ASMs, as a consumer, I would buy, I'll keep Old Line out of it, right? I'd buy Westward, I'd buy Balcones, I'd buy Virginia Distilling Company before I would buy Claremont Steep. And that's not because I have anything against Beam. It's just I think those are better whiskeys for that category.
Right. And the Claremont Steep, we've gone round and round about this. It has kind of almost kind of an artificial flavor to it, more of a chemical, fishy kind of. I don't know, Charlie likes he likes to say it tastes like fish, but it's just not there, as far as other single malts.
So yeah, it's a rare opportunity where we're actually in this little tiny sliver of a category, as small as it is, that we and our peers we're out ahead, and it's very it doesn't happen very often, so we're lucky to be there.
Right. Yep. All right, so let's go on to the last one we got here. This is the Navy Strength.
Yeah,
114 proof.
So this is so before I get into the Navy Strength, we got here actually. So our blue label, which this is as you can see is a blue label, used to be our cask strength, which for us cask strength it's evolving over time as we age longer and longer. But we'll say 124 to 132. Is kind of where our barrels are being emptied, 124, 125 in the youngers, 130, 132 in the older ones. And so our cask strength we loved, but we also, Arch and I, my business partner and I, found ourselves when we were sipping our cask strength, we were very often putting in one ice cube, just kind of taming it a little bit, bringing it down, opening it up a little bit. You could argue that doesn't open it up with the cold, but that's the way we would drink it. And we figured we're probably drinking this thing probably at the end of the day in the mid 1 teens. We're Navy guys. No one does Navy strength whiskey. I mean, you have some whiskeys out there at 114 proof. They don't brand it as Navy strength. You have, Overholt 114 and Grandad. And I'm sure others that I'm forgetting. But so we loved the profile. We thought that it brought it down to a level where, to me, it was just supremely approachable, and the complexity and the flavors were just off the charts. But we didn't want to let go of our cask strength either. So what we did with that became a different label, our black label single barrel cask strength program. So now, whether it's a store pick or an old line pick or a whiskey club pick, whatever it is, kind of like almost like a Four Roses single barrel. You buy one at one store, and one at the next store, down the road 2 weeks later, and they're probably going to be different barrels. Yeah. So that's we're embracing the variability of the casks when it comes to our single barrel, our cask strength program now. So this is a 114 proof. This is my desert island. If I had to pick one of our products to nestle up with, waiting for rescue, this is the one I would pick.
Well, that intrigued Charlie.
Charlie, don't let me down.
I'm gonna try my damnedest,
Well,
for me, compared to the 95 proof, for me, this is just my palate. Yours is different, obviously, but the number 4 char barrels we use, in contrast to number 3 char, which is a little more common. Number 3 will be a little bit more vanilla heavy. Number 4 is a little more bacon spice heavy. And this, for me, the bacon spices, the allspice, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, those things to me are a little more prominent as high proof. And I think some of the summer fruit, nectarine, things like that I sometimes get are a little bit in the background. So that's just one man's opinion. But
yeah, and nose wise, definitely heavy on the cinnamon. Also a little maybe anise in there as well on the nose for me. Yeah. Definitely can smell the heat. Yeah, at least in my opinion. Definitely, you're something a little more hot here.
Yeah, but I get on the taste, I get like almost like a chocolate, fruity. Man,
I don't want to put words in your mouth, Jeff, but I've heard people say like chocolate covered cherry. I don't know
like a cherry cordial kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have the liquid inside. So we have about 10% of our mash bill. So it's all malted barley because we're a single malt, but we use different types of malt, and one of them is a deep kiln called a crystal malt. That to give you an example, if we were eating the malt before we mashed in, the lighter one would taste kind of like grape nut cereal. The darker one would taste almost like Raisin Bran flakes. And so the lighter one's about 90% of our mash bill. The darker one's about 10%. But that darker crystal malt has this really, really rich like cocoa flavor. And that is, I think, in some way, shape, or form, kind of a unifying factor amongst all of our whiskeys. And I think when you say that kind of chocolate, that to me, that's called that C120 grain that I think is a big hallmark of what we do.
Yeah, man, that's nice. What do you think, Bob?
No, it's interesting because I would almost think there was some rye in there just because of the heat with it, you know.
You're not alone in saying that.
Okay, yeah, because it's usually the rye hits me on the tip of my tongue, and this hits me on the tip of my tongue too. So I would have been fooled into thinking there's some rye in this. Yeah, and then when you mention the chocolate covered cherry, and I think also too more of a dark chocolate to me anyway, as opposed to like a sweet chocolate.
Sure.
Yeah, with a little bit of bitterness in there, but definitely not too bitter. This is lovely. This is lovely too.
Very
Yeah,
nice. It's very
Is
nice.
that what fancy people say, cacao instead of cocoa? I think that's what you're.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I will say, I mean, of the four tonight, I mean, I think this is my favorite. This is, they're all great, but this one kind of stands out a little bit more. It might be the proof. Speaking that,
yeah.
Just the flavor on this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not a proof junkie as much as these two guys. They were all good. I'll say that.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that to say it. I'm probably honest to a fault. I mean, I know I haven't been on the show for a while, but your flagship to me, I think that would be good for capturing people that are coming from Scotch, maybe are more Scotch drinkers than bourbon. I think that would have appeal for them. And then this one, that was probably my favorite in terms of like a bourbon, a bourbon like single malt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love these two, but for different reasons. This one more, for some of the Scotch qualities, and this one more for some of the bourbon qualities. But they were all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you very much. It's we're proud of what we put out there, and we know it's not for everybody. There's certain people that won't love it just because it's each person is different. But we do tend to get a good response, and we're very proud of that.
Right.
I like that.
You
I
like
really do like that rumble.
You like the Caribbean one?
I really do. That was something I would actually buy.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. That's high praise. That's high praise.
Speaking of buying,
you're welcome.
Where are we at as far as price points? As far as
So with your hand is on the far left there, or my far left at least. The flagship is $45 a bottle.
Okay.
The two double oaks. The next two, we try to keep it as reasonable as we can. The next two are going to be $65 a bottle.
Okay.
And then $55 for the Navy String.
Wow.
So our goal is to price it where, even though single malts tend to be more expensive it costs a lot, malt's expensive, but we try to price it where the bourbon drinker is very comfortable shopping, because that's kind of the target customer we're going for. So, we take a little bit of a hit to our margins to put it into a range below other American single malts, because we feel like that's where our target consumer likes to spend.
As far as, do you do like a single malt rye, or do you have plans of doing a single malt rye?
So great question. So we don't have a single malt rye. The rye that we do is kind of from a different angle. We call it our 51 rye, and it's 51% rye, 49% malted barley. And the reason we got there, you'd think maybe because we're a malt whiskey company, we decided to do, and we're in Maryland, home of rye whiskey. Maybe we did a high malt rye to be kind of cute about it. It ended up falling in our lap that way because there's a brewery about 2 blocks away called Monument City. Great beer, great guys, and they make a 51 rye IPA. And we ended up distilling some of their wash without the hops, just to see what would happen, and we loved it. So it is 51% unmalted rye, 49% malted barley. So no, we don't do a single malt rye. I believe. Baltimore Spirits Company, they're great guys. If you don't know them, Google them. I don't think their rye is single malt rye, but there's a good amount of malted rye in it. So you can poke around their website. They may have something that would.
And what was the name again?
Baltimore Spirits Company.
Baltimore Spirits Company.
Yeah,
okay.
they're friends of ours. They're 2 miles away, and they do. I know they do a lot with malted rye. I just don't know if it's 100% malted rye or not.
Okay. Now, as far as availability, I know in Ohio we don't see these. I mean, what is your distribution area?
Yeah, so distribution. Well, as far as on the shelves, it's very limited. We're just basically Mid-Atlantic these days. We've done a little bit in like New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts and Colorado, but very little. But for us, it's Maryland, DC, Delaware. But we also via our website. Thank you.
There it is.
You can order online. Yeah. So we can.
All right.
I love Gandy. And we can ship to 41 states now. So a lot of people are surprised when they go check and we can ship to their state. So we can't do it ourselves, but we have a third party in DC that we work with that can ship to 41 states. So on our website, it'll tell you, if you can and can't. The only states, Massachusetts is one that's a bummer for me because I'm from there and we can't ship up there. But the rest of them are going to be like the Dakotas and kind of less populated states. So I think for the most part, almost everybody watching can probably get a bottle shipped to their house. And there's also free shipping on flat shipping of $20 for one bottle up to 11 or 12. So and free shipping on 3 or more.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, well, just for all the viewers out there, just can you tell us again how we can find you, where you're located, and if there's anything coming up that you're willing to talk about as far as new products or
You care about jumping in? That's a silly little question before you go there.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like this is such a newer thing. Do you think the regionality is going to play a factor into this if this continues to kind of grow much as it is in Scotland? I would assume that is a possibility, but I thought maybe you would know more about that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. That's not a silly question at all. I think that, absolutely, I think so. And what we and I say we is the royal or whatever, like the category, our friends in the industry, very well. You mentioned Scotch is a great example, but comparing it to wine, right, where regionality is so big. One of the things that, wine, the product in the bottle is so close to the product in the plant, right? There's not that many steps between the grape and the wine. There's steps, but it's not that far. Whereas with whiskey, you're growing the grain, maybe you're malting it, you're mashing it, you're distilling it, you're aging it, and all these things are happening, right? So you're that much farther removed from the grain. So the regionality, I think, will less be grain related and more aging environment related. So,
right, okay.
And one example of how a dramatic difference that we saw is that when we learned how to make this whiskey on the West Coast, we've always done a barrel entry proof of 120. That's always been what Bob and Jim did, and we've seen no reason to change it. I mean, we've made little things here and there different than that, but for the most part, we stick with that. And when they were emptying their barrels that went in at 120, they were taking them out at a 111 to 113 because the air out there was always so saturated with water that the
humidity,
it was actually, so the proof is going down. Out here, it's like Kentucky, in that the water gets wicked out more than the ethanol, so our proof goes up. And that's just one. I mean, and you can imagine that that as the proof changes, you're just interacting with the barrel in very different ways. So the regionality, we think, I think, and I think most of it think is going to be largely aging profile.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And one thing, by the way, one thing I realized earlier, the question about the floor malting, that I started to answer it and then I got distracted just to make sure I don't forget. The malting that we do, that our guys out in Great Western do, is primarily drum malting. So I started to answer the question that was asked and I got off on a tangent and I realized I never actually answered the question.
Okay. Great.
All right. Appreciate that. Okay. So again, just kind of tell the listeners, your viewers, where they can find you, and if you have any other things that you want to talk about as far as things that are coming up.
Yeah, no. So we're here in Baltimore, Maryland. Our social media is just at Old Line Spirits. Please come by if you're in the area. We'd love to come, have you come by, take a look at the place and kick the tires. But as far as what's coming out, the thing that I'm most excited about is we've gotten in the past year a little bit more into some blending. So we're still, we're putting out single malts. They're not blended whiskeys per se, but we're blending different flavor profiles in our single malt. And one of them that we did last fall that we're going to do again is we call our Harvest Moon. So we set out actually to make a cigar blend. And as our blend developed, it ended up going in a direction that didn't really scream cigar to us, but it was a very fall character. And it was actually a very, very hint. I mean, a very whisper of Amburana in there, which I know Amburana can be scary to people. Just think of a real breath of Amburana and some sherry finish, and it was like apple pie flavors. And it was.
I'm signed up for that.
All right, Hey, Charlie, I will get it to you, my man. We'll make sure you get some. I gotta make you a convert.
When are you thinking that you're gonna? When's that coming to product?
So we actually that'll be we did it last year in October. So whatever the harvest moon is, like October timeframe.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, I'm sure I got something floating around here that I can put a little in a sample bottle and.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, that'd be great.
But it's so that one I'm excited about because it's a new thing for us. It's just the blending is it's new for us, right? We're just messing around and trying to make lessons learned and not screw it up. And we've done a number of blends. We've actually not done a couple of blends because it just wasn't coming out the way we wanted it to. And the one that we did, the Harvest Moon in the fall, was like, okay, that hit, and we're like, okay, we're releasing it. So I'm excited to see how that comes out this year.
It sounds delicious. It really does.
Well, thank you. But yeah, at Old Line Spirits, oldlinespirits.com, come check it out. And I just can't thank y'all enough for letting me be on here and hang out.
No, I mean, thanks to all ours. I mean, we appreciate you coming on.
Very good time. Very good time.
I know you and I talked earlier, and you had some little difficulties there, but as far as planning and timing and whatnot, but we do appreciate you coming on. And and for our viewers out there, I think if you can find this somewhere, find it or get online and order it. I think these are all a definite buy in our opinion. My favorite again is this, the Navy, but they're all great, really. But we do appreciate you coming on.
I can't thank y'all enough. Really appreciate it. And hey, I look forward to shaking hands and having a drink in person at some point.
All right.
Hey,
Excellent.
You going to be at any of the festivals coming up by chance?
Yes, depends which one you're talking about, but yeah, I'll be at some, mostly local to here. I'm not sure if you've been in this area or not, but yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Cheers. Cheers. Wow.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Charlie, I'm impressed. You found one.
I found one, and I'm going to go back to this freaking comment that Gandy decided to say. It took longer than expected for Charlie.
Oh, I know. I know.
I just want to say hello to the guy.
Oh, was there an over under? I didn't. I didn't see the over under.
Well, I was kind of wondering how long it was going to take. And,
I did a good job,
40
reserve, everything.
43 and a half minutes.
Oh my God. All right, so let's get to a couple things here. Let's get to the ponies.
Oh, yeah.
For those who are interested, listen, you don't have to understand the horses, only to understand that we're going to do a giveaway. You're not going to know until Saturday evening.
right.
And here's how it works. If you pick your horse, and let's say like 2 or 3 other people in this chat pick the same horse, then you guys will then be in a drawing for the sample winning. Now, strategically, if you pick one that you're the only one in it, and that's slot,
a long slot.
You don't have to worry about
Right.
a drawing.
Mhm.
No,
So we got a 55-1 odds is the highest we got.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show the screen.
Okay.
I don't know anything about horses.
I don't know much about it
Bob is an expert when it comes to this.
Actually, I'm a novice. I've just been betting for ponies for a couple of years, but for my 2 cents, if you want my 2 cents, I won't bore you for too long. But I've been following journalism early on. I was kind of hoping he'd come in more middle of the road odds, but unfortunately, he's the favorite. But I'm still going to bet him.
Is that because it's going to be a muddy track, or because I know I saw that they were saying that it could be a surprise this year because it's going to be a muddy track.
Weather-wise, yeah. I've heard the opposite. So I heard we're supposed to be good. So it could be either way. The mudders are supposed to be Rodriguez, who was recently scratched. By the way, Bob Baffert has had 2 horses in. He had Rodriguez and Citizen Bull. Citizen Bull's laid some eggs recently, and he's also on the 1 post, so that brings his value down.
Okay. So put it in the chat as far as who your horse wants to be. Gate 1 through 20, you see that on the screen. Goes all the way from Citizen Bull all the way down to Bayaza. He's a 50-1 shot.
Yeah.
Or if you're not familiar with the horses, just throw out a number 1 through 20.
Yeah.
I'll slot you into that, and then just pay attention to Saturday night, and I'll post it probably either on our community page. I'll post it probably in the Discord over at Brian Shauna's Cast 529, our Patreon, stuff like that. So, and then we'll mention it again on the following Thursday. Bourbon Nerd, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. We'll get you in on the Woodford Chocolate Redux.
For those of you,
some 3 Barrel King picks. And you know what? The reason I'm going to celebrate this because I like to win the single malt, so it makes me happy. So we are going to substitute one of the Barrel King picks and put in the Stag Boo-Rye, the one I wanted to keep, which we'll still have some left.
wow, you're pulling
You know
out.
why? You know what makes me happy? Because of the fact that I found it was single malt. So
Man,
so
guys.
we're gonna add that to the super chat.
Let me get that down so we don't forget.
Yeah, so we don't forget. Yeah,
Stag Boo-Rye.
Yes.
We're off camera anyway; they can't see it. But so those of you who just joined, hashtag Old Line will get you in a drawing for the lineup that we have here tonight. That we went with Mark on, and again was the Navy strength. But wow. And then for every $5 super chat, we'll get you into the premium pour category, which now includes the Stag Boo-Rye from Barrel King.
That's fantastic.
Yes, it is very.
You know what? That puts chocolate redux.
Well,
You know what? You know what's cool about this? They'll be able to taste.
That's right, because chocolate redux is in there.
Yeah, so they'll be able to sample both of them.
Yeah.
And see which one they like.
I don't know though. That's still not.
I
don't know.
I'm just. So again, those who want horsies, 1 through 20, just put a gate number and I'll put you in there. Also hashtag Old Line for the giveaway for this evening. I'm pressing it wrong.
They're all good. I mean,
Yeah, they are. They all, and they were all smooth. That's the other thing too. I was expecting, some harshness maybe from some of them, but not at all.
Good. I mean, we have had a couple that are.
Yeah. No, and I think it's like I said, my fondness for Scotch, but their flagship is, I think it's excellent. I really like the flagship.
Yeah. I'm just impressed that Charlie found one.
I'm impressed too. I mean, actually, Steven said I'd buy it, being honest.
Yeah.
Because I was fine just not saying anything tonight, which none of you guys believe me. No, it was that rum one was really good. Ain't gonna lie. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Anything interesting? We got.
Let me catch up.
And for what it's worth, for the record, just because it's just coming up in a couple of days, journalism, sovereignty, Luxor Cafe.
That's your box.
That's my and I don't usually bet for trifectas. I usually do just bet boxes, exacta boxes, but I might bet some trifectas this time. So those are my 3 horses that I like. I think the Japanese horses are getting a little overlooked this year.
Japanese horses. Yes,
there's 2 Japanese horses in. There's Luxor Cafe, and you don't know anything about your heritage, do you?
No, dude, I got. There's so many jokes like this that they're doing, and I won't. I didn't know there's such a thing as Japanese horses.
Yeah, there's Forever Young made such a good showing last year, and I think some of the Japanese horses are getting overlooked. So there's Luxor Cafe and then Meyer Daytona are the 2 Japanese horses in this race. I like Luxor Cafe, and I think he's got good odds too. Price wise, I think he's 15 to 1 last time I looked. That might be different now, but those are my 3 babies. I might throw Tastic in there somewhere.
And I don't want to start any kind of conspiracy theory or anything, but you and I talked about this earlier. Toby Keith does have a horse in the race.
Yeah, I don't remember which horse that is.
I don't know which horse it is.
In chat?
Yeah, I bet somebody in the chat. Yeah,
it could be a.
And I remember looking at it; it was a 30 to 1 at the time.
Yeah.
So it's a long shot horse. But for you country music fans, that might be somebody you want to bet. Yeah, exactly. And if you're a local person, Final Gamut won the Jeff Ruby at Turfway.
Oh.
And that's one of the ones too. It's a mutter. He's a mutter. So if it does rain, that might be a good pick if it winds up raining. The speed numbers don't look that great, but if the course gets sloppy, Final Gamut might pull out a surprise.
Mr. Mom says someone needs a horse in the Derby that's named Hawk Two. That'd be freaking awesome.
And I was on a couple weeks ago, whenever I was hanging out with you guys, somebody mentioned Santa's Little Helper, and I think that was a Simpsons reference. I think they were just kind of joking around. That was the dog. They used to dog race on the Simpsons. Well, I thought about it in the back of my head, but
I missed. I was reading. What was that?
I was bringing up journalism a couple weeks ago when I was here.
Okay.
And somebody said Santa's Helper, and when they brought it up, I'm like, I don't think that's a horse in the race. And later on, I'm like, I think that's whoever was making the joke. I think that's a Simpsons reference. I realized that was the Simpsons dog.
Rob says that he thinks Toby Keith's rendered judgment is.
Oh, okay, that's the horse for Toby Keith. Okay.
Well, who had beer from our horses?
No, Mr. Mom said that. It should be called beer from our horses.
Should be called. Yeah, you're right.
Rendered judgment. Justin has Lexor Cafe.
Yep, that's the Japanese horse. I like that horse. That's my third. I picked for third place.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Are you guys already in the hashtag O line? Because I'm about to spin this puppy. So those who are, make sure you get in. I don't know if you guys saw the comment earlier. So I guess apparently if you refresh the hashtag giveaway, it reboots. I don't know what happened. I was messing around with buttons while you guys were doing an interview. So I did put in the chat for those who might have done it earlier on. What? I put a warning in there. So if you all could, if you think you did it earlier, you might want to redo it.
Way to go, Charlie.
No, I start messing around and start.
That's weird that it'll do that whenever you don't enter it in. You don't set it up until after people already entered,
but it still collects.
And it still collects.
Yet if I reset,
wow,
it will boot everybody out. It's weird, and
wow.
I felt bad. So whoever did hashtag O-line earlier in the show may not be in it, and it won't count twice. So it's not like you could, you all could put hashtag O-line as many at a time. You're gonna get one entry.
Yeah, right.
So it won't duplicate entries. So don't worry about that. So make sure you're in. I'd feel bad if you thought you were in and you weren't. Because these are pretty good samples.
Let's see. We got Show Me the Proof is here now. I don't know how long you've been here. I'm reading through the chat here.
He came by mid through.
Did he? Okay. Welcome.
Right guy showed up. Cheers to you, buddy.
And I saw a couple new names up there.
I did. Jenny B's on.
Jenny, welcome.
Yeah, I would have to scroll way back to.
Yeah. I saw some new names I hadn't seen before. So, welcome everybody. There's John Legalvo. Welcome.
Oh yes, our London English friend.
No, that's James.
It's James.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
Anyway, John, we still say hello to you anyway. So cheers to you. And then 21090's on, and they're good friends with O-line.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like I said, they're the ones that I heard about.
Yeah. I'm glad we had them on tonight. I'm glad you found one finally.
Well, I think the best part of the whole freaking interview when he told me to fuck off.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I quoted. No. I can quote all that.
Where's the fresh?
No,
the fresh.
I can quote all I want. Quoting someone else.
You can be off camera, but you still catch it.
Yeah, and I'm off camera.
Oh, man.
So, King says Burnham Square and Sandman Exactabox.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
I think Sandman's going to get over a bit. Sandman is a beautiful, light gray horse.
Dude, you're freaking me out.
He's fast. He's fast. And if you watched him win, he won the Florida, whatever Derby he won to kind of get here. He was down the stretch pulling away. Nobody's around him, and he's like all over the place. So I worry that Sandman could potentially, and I'm a novice, but I could see Sandman winning the Derby and then the inquiry light comes on, and he gets disqualified because he knocked 2 or 3 horses off
Oh, really?
on his way in. He just seems a little too immature,
Or erratic.
yeah, a little erratic, but he is fast. I will give him that, but I could be wrong. But I don't think those are bad picks at all. No, but like I said, Sandman scares me a little
Justin
bit.
said, I don't know.
No, I get that. Yeah, well, he's huge on TikTok. I guess he's got a big fun, and he is a ham for the camera. He's a ham for the camera.
The horse.
The horse, yeah, and he is. He's a cute horse. When they turn the cameras on, he just seems like he eats it up,
Prances around.
So yeah, so he's very well liked by the public, and I think he'll probably get overbet a bit, So
Brian just start the rap.
No, because I think somebody else said something you can't be off screen and
Okay, but I'm quoting someone.
it doesn't.
I'm quoting someone.
I don't think it counts either. I think
Yeah.
he needs to drink, because you could have just said he said F of
Oh, so you're siding with the viewers.
Yeah, time with the viewers. I like to see you drink fresh.
We don't even know where it's at.
It's right behind the
I
TV.
can't read it. I can't read it.
You can. You can get up. You can
There's
get up
too
and
much
leave.
stuff around us. We can't reach
I'll
it.
go get it.
No, we can't reach it. Jeff, you can't reach it. I can reach it. Dude, you can't reach it.
There you go. Jeff's dedicated. I like it. He's dedicated. Oh. And I'm going to apologize for the viewers before I started tasting. I don't know if everyone noticed, I had to take the metal out of my mouth. So sorry about that.
I can't get it. I'm stuck.
Metal.
Dogs around me. I can't get it.
Oh, man.
All right, mark it down, guys. Charlie owes us one.
No one will remember next year.
I will remember.
Next month.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yes. Can't believe. I know it's $50
What's that?
for that. It's $50 for fresh.
I know.
That's what I paid for it.
Well, speaking of fresh, we do have an announcement.
Oh yeah, we do. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you send it to me?
Yes, I will.
We have a job opportunity.
Yeah, we do. Let me see here. I will forward this over to you now.
You're gonna drop it,
Okay.
and then I'll put it up on the screen. All right, hold on, guys. I want to show you guys something. I mentioned, I think in Sean's or Brian and Sean's Discord.
Airdropping now to Charlie.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Except,
Got it? All right. So, if there is any interest,
hold on.
there is a new job opportunity, and this is thanks to Tom Morrow for posting this on the Big Bourbon Club. That's where I
Give me a
got.
second before
I
you
know.
reveal.
I'm not revealing anything. I'm just saying that's where I found it.
Everything. Hold on. Stop sharing screen. Share screen. Sent. Share screen.
And there we go. All right. So if there is any interest in anybody that has wants to talk more about fresh and the quality of the bourbon, there is a brand ambassador position open up for fresh bourbon. It's a part-time position. They don't reveal the salary, but benefits are employee discounts and a flexible schedule. So, what a great opportunity to be able to sample and taste the fresh product line and hey, make a little money while you're doing it.
So there's your job opportunity. Anybody wants it. You got to be kidding.
Again, thanks Tom Morrow for posting that up on Big Bourbon Club. Appreciate it. I think Charlie needs to apply.
That would be awesome.
That's great.
Don't remove us. There you go. Rob, fresh is a lot worse than Claremont Steep, in my personal opinion.
Oh, fresh is the worst thing I ever had. Like, I would drink any single malt before I drink fresh.
Would you drink the MacArthur's peated single malt?
That's a tough one. But no.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dave, you might have something going there.
The single barrel pick. Dude, oh.
Yeah. Torp, you're right. Fired day one.
You know, I got fired from my newspaper route.
Did you
Wow.
really?
I did. I was like 15 years old, and I got fired. Well, I might have delivered the news like 4 or 5 days late. And then we got all kinds of complaints. It kind of explains why you guys don't get your samples on time.
That's kind of explained that, doesn't it?
Yes. It all started from a very early age. I've never corrected since.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to the right guy. I'm gonna apply as Charlie, and
Man, that'd be fun if
see
you
where
started
that goes.
put my damn number on there and I get a phone call. All right, let's draw this O line.
Delivered just like the Grinch would. Yep.
I am not the
This is the brandy one, right?
The what?
Brandy one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The sherry.
I'm shocked you didn't like this one, Charlie.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I really thought you would like the brandy one. Oops. Oh, thank you, sir.
Village.
Yes.
Share screen. O line.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So hashtag old line here. Let's see who's gonna get themselves a sample.
All right, we'll give you about 10 seconds. 15 seconds.
Nose
to,
on lettuce.
Any late
Unbelievable.
newcomers. Cheers, CA Scotty. Hope you're doing wonderful.
Hey there, CA Scotty. So again, this will get you the Navy strength, which is the 114. These are all American single malts, and don't let that scare you, because these are nothing like American single malt in our opinion. This is a sherry cask. We have a Caribbean cask, and we got their flagship, which is a 95 proofer. The two finished ones here are 100 proof, and 95 and 114.
Okay. All right, ready?
So here we
Here
go.
we go. We can write this down in the box. Winner is Shauna. Nice.
Rig.
Shauna, I would imagine Shauna is here, and then she does win the sample pack.
You got to be here, Shauna.
Shauna's
Where are you, Shauna? Time to write.
with the right.
Is she here? Yay! All right, Shauna.
All right, so she wins the O-line 4 sample pack. And then next is I'm going to get, we're going to do duck racing, but instead of ducks, we're going to do horsies.
And just a reminder, if you're just now getting here, there is a $5 super chat for a premium pour. We have the Barrel King, which has got the Stag Borai plus 2 other Barrel Kings, and the Woodford Reserve Chocolate Redux. Redux.
Very French. Very French.
Yeah, I don't think it's for ducks.
Yeah, I don't even think it's Redux. Redux. Okay, Shauna, there you are. We'll get a label and get this to you.
And then we'll draw that.
Can you put that somewhere?
Yeah, it's put off the side over there.
Any announcements coming up there, buddy?
Other than just what I said earlier.
What's they're sold out.
That's right. I got an email today from the James B. Beam Institute from Ilka, who's one of the directors and coordinators over there, that they have sold out of the Wild Cask blend that we had on, was that last week? Yeah, we had them on last Thursday. It went on the market on the 28th, and they are sold out in 3 days, 4 days, 3 days.
Yeah, I thought he said
He said
he
that-
thought it was going to reach the like Kroger's.
Yeah, they were going to send it out for distribution locally around the Lexington area to the Kroger's, and Ilka emailed me today and asked me to stop sharing the link for the purchase because they don't have any more. So unfortunately, what we got is what we're gonna get. But they will be doing this on a yearly basis, like Herb said last week, that it's going to coincide with the graduating class. This year was a 2025 edition. They'll have a 2026. They are laying down their own barrels right now, but they're looking to those to be a 4 to 6 year kind of deal. But they will be sourcing it from either Jim Beam or Bardstown for the next few years.
So can you, without giving the farm away, can you politely and carefully explain this question here?
Well, yes and no. It was for personal reasons, is what she's told everybody. I've talked to her. She wouldn't kind of go into detail. It was just for personal reasons. I know it's a family-owned business. Family-owned businesses, as anybody knows, can get a little tricky. I don't know for what reasons.
Yeah. So, but good for her for whatever she's going to do. Did she mention what it was?
What she's doing is she has her own channel on TikTok, which she had before.
Correct.
But she's given it. It's called Out of Office now. But she's doing bourbon reviews. She does barrel picks. She does different kind of planning and marketing kind of stuff, but all kind of geared toward the bourbon world. So we're going to have her on at the end of the month so she can go into a little bit more about what she's into this. Yeah. Into May,
really?
May 29th. Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned.
Yeah. So, but that's all I know for now. Like I said, I didn't want to prod, and go
But
into.
what a brand ambassador.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Dude, she didn't sell anything.
Yes.
She's
And,
awesome.
yeah. And it's mostly her, but her husband is now kind of in the picture a little bit on some things.
All right. Well, very good.
But yeah.
So I got everybody super chat $5 and up on the giveaway all the way down to John G. CA Scotty, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So just going back to that, for people who are just now getting here or haven't been here for a little while, May 8th, which is next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. We got Bill McBrayer here. He will be sitting right here, right between Charlie and I.
Can't wait.
Bob, you can come too if you like.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
But we'll be
bottle review.
huh?
Bottle review will be out on Saturday.
Okay, so we did do a bottle review of the Judge Batch 5. You want to hand that bottle over here?
I can reach that.
Oh, you can reach that, but you can't reach it fresh. Imagine that.
My arms don't go that far.
Oh, well, just kind of to the right there a little
Nope,
bit. So,
can't do
well, damn,
Yeah,
see how that works.
About that? Yep. How about that?
So this is the bottle, the W.H. McBrayer, the Judge.
Oh, okay, Scotty, I'll get you in, buddy.
Yeah, so this is batch 5. Bill was kind enough to drop this off to us last Tuesday. Well, yesterday. No, Tuesday. Today's Thursday.
Yeah, he dropped it off my work.
That's right. So
which was weird in itself.
yeah. So that evening,
Like, he's like, "You want me to come in?" I'm like, dude, no. You
No.
can't come in. So I put it on the parking lot. And then the next day, 2 people was like, "What's up with that bourbon transaction?" I'm watching me on a freaking
I
camera.
was gonna say everybody got access to the cameras now, man. Yeah. Gotta be careful, man. Gotta be
yeah.
careful.
Yeah. So we did do a bottle review on this Tuesday night. It'll be released this Saturday.
Yes,
and-
I'm almost done with it already.
Okay. Bill will be on the show, like I said, Monday night or May 8th, Thursday night. He'll be here. Then on May 15th, we've got Watch Hill Proper.
Yes.
That's
gonna be fun.
that's
too.
gonna be fun. Yeah,
That's gonna be a lot of fun. We need to go down there, guys.
I know we do. We need to take a road
It's
trip.
the biggest whiskey bar in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then on May 22nd,
Real quick, can we back up real quick?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Torb, I know I don't know how facetious you're being, but right now I'm gonna buy a batch of, not batch, but X amount of bottles with Brer, and we'll say it again next Thursday.
mhm,
But he's gonna sign the bottles for you guys.
right.
Okay.
So we'll have those available. I think what we'll probably have to do is, since those bottles are probably in my possession, we'll figure out a way. All I ask on my end, obviously, is just whatever cost it was to us, plus shipping, whatever. We'll get that out to you. Anyway, that'd be kind of cool to. If you're planning on buying one, it'd be kind of cool to maybe buy it with a signature on it.
Yeah, you could go to my McBrayer
Correct.
whenever it becomes available, May 10th, not now,
Correct.
May 10th, to be able to purchase it. And if you just tell them pick up, then let us know, because he's like down the road from us, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We will go to pick it up from him, so you don't have to worry about that, and then we'll deal with the shipping afterwards.
Yeah, so Gabe, you were right. It will be a revival for you
Right.
local folks.
Yeah.
It will be down there starting not May the 10th, well, a few days after.
Right.
But again, for those who can't get to revival or whatnot, feel free to purchase through, whatever. I don't want to say too much online, but you know what we're saying.
And these are running about $100 a bottle.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yep.
So that plus tax, whatever, and then shipping would be probably like $7 or $8, depending on where you're at.
Right. So that is May 8th. That's going to be a really big deal. Again, May 15th, Watch Hill proper. May 22nd, which is the following Thursday, Liberty Pole out of Washington, Pennsylvania. If you're familiar with that, that's the Whiskey Rebellion kind of deal where it all started back in the day. Yep.
Not familiar with it.
And then, as we were saying earlier, May 29th, Mia Albal, formerly of JT Mellick, on her own new venture. We will be discussing that on 29th with her.
And then you guys booked till June.
We are booking into July.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. we have whiskey thieves set up for June 12th, I think, whatever that date was. So that's already booked.
Dude, you are a machine. You're an absolute machine. Good Lord. All right. So I got everything down to John, CA Scotty.
Charlie, did you block Torv's phone number?
Did I block it?
Can you let Charlie block my phone number or something?
Can you let Charlie block? I didn't block your phone number. I've been texting you. You never text back. Why would I block your? Why in these guys' name would I block your phone number? Hold on here. Don't even say that. Don't make stuff up.
Oh, almost. That I would have gone around you, Bob, and gotten it.
Hold on here.
I'd have gone under the damn table.
Yeah, so you're not blocked, Tor, but I don't know if this is your number. Did you change your number? I mean, I text you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, my friend. Text me or email me, and we'll get this figured out. All right.
Torp wants the old McBrayer single barrel. Well, I mean that's pretty good too. That's the blue label, isn't it?
All right, let's get this spin going.
All right, so this is for the horsies, right? Is this for the horsies, or is this for the super chat?
Super chat.
All right.
Horses, all they got to do is say which horse they want, and then I'll mark it down and put it in the thing.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. All right.
Let me,
That's why I'm thinking of horsies, because you're having a horsey race.
yeah, man, I'm having a horse race. Oh,
Did you reset that too?
Hold on. God. Oh my God, what is going on? Hold on.
What did you
What in the
do?
world's he doing?
I pressed the wrong button.
He did it again. Did you save your list?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, I did. Hold on.
If it wasn't a shit show, it wouldn't be a show.
Names, edit. We don't know these people.
Man, I really like this Navy Straight 14. Man, this is really good.
Yeah, and I will say that I was skeptical about a brandy finish.
Yeah.
Because usually those are too sweet for me, but this was not too sweet at all.
It was dry.
It was. I love it. Like, between the flagship and the brandy, those two are my favorite.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that brandy. I didn't expect to like the brandy at all. But
Because I got that cherry cordial
oh yeah,
note on it.
Yeah.
Give me a number 1 through 10.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You're not on the screen.
6, 7, 8. What's that?
It's not.
You're not showing it.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
And we're back.
And I'm looking forward to. He talked about they're not doing anything smoky now. I actually look forward to something a little
Kinda
smoky
that
because I like different regions of Scott. You know what I mean? So I sometimes I like the smokiness.
Oh, I did shuffle on people. So I reshuffle them so I see it.
I
did shuffle it.
I trust you.
Yeah, we watched him. Yeah, we were witnesses.
Yeah, we were witnesses.
Yeah.
But one of the things, and it's probably a bad thing that we did this. We started Charlie off on the American Single Malt with MacArthur, which is a peated
Oh yeah.
and he did not like
He
that.
didn't like that at all.
It was a very smoky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like Scotch myself. I talked about.
Oh
that.
yeah. We both like. We're both Scotch
Right.
lovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I love the you know, I've been big on the even though it's a blended, the Johnny Walker Double Black is I really like. I need to bring that. I brought it one time, but I forgot to give it to you.
All right, they're
I'll
off.
try to bring that next time.
You have anybody that called this race?
Very good.
You know how to
Smoky.
call a race?
Hey, here comes John up there.
Gandy's on the rail. He's falling back. Keith coming up. And John's falling back. Keith, which I don't know which Keith. There's two Keiths. Two Keiths in the lead. I don't know which one is which. I don't know.
Dave.
Oh, Dave. Dave's pulling up in the middle. Oh, no. Keith's coming out there. There's three Keiths. Oh, my God. Keith's coming on the outside.
Here comes Shauna. Rob up on the top.
Oh, man. Rob is pulling away. Only one furlong to the end.
Who's
Oh,
coming?
my God. Who's it going to
Keith.
be?
Here
Another
comes
Keith.
Keith.
There's so many Keiths. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Keith's coming up. Oh,
Keith.
Hold on.
What? What did you do?
There's a Keith Miller and a Keith Lander.
Oh, shit.
So here's what I'm going to do. Oh my God. The worst scenario just happened. I did not label which Keith it is.
So both Keiths are going to get something.
both
All right. Hey. All right. We got
Keiths
double
win.
winners.
I
Double
did.
winners.
Oh, I messed
God, I
up.
love that.
Yeah,
I
didn't have
love
my
it.
job.
You had one job. Like I said, if it wasn't shit,
Oh my God. All right. Well, for a second, you're like, Keith, they're everywhere. I'm like, oh my God. I realized I thought to myself, I just hope to God Keith does not win. Okay.
hey, so Keith Glandon and Keith Miller,
Yeah,
congratulations.
the damn sample.
Woo.
Oh my God.
That was great. That was great.
We'll have to make up another one there for.
That was, oh my gosh.
That was
One
awesome.
job.
That was
You're
awesome.
right. I had one job.
Yeah.
I screwed it up.
And what did you do?
Hold on, Charles. Did I miss your? Oh, are you kidding me?
What?
Charles said I missed his entry.
He did. Did you? He did. So we got a third batch we're going to send. Congratulations, Keith Miller, Keith Glandon, and Charles.
Yeah, you know what? That's what we do. So, 3 effing samples going out. You know what? You want me to miss your thing. You will automatically win.
Yeah, don't come in if he leaves you out. Stay quiet. Stay quiet.
Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
oh, he sent me Apple Pay. That's why I didn't get it. But, oh, I just saw your thing.
Woo.
Swear to God.
Yeah, Keith. The old line was really good, and in fact, we do have another one set up. If you want to do another giveaway for another round of old line, you want to set up another quick one?
Yes, let's do another.
All right, let's do
No, this is
another.
free for everybody.
This is free for everybody. This would be hashtag old line 2.
So super chat was just jacked up. So three people on super chat. Possible one.
One. I better write that down.
You know what? You do this enough, you're gonna like. I don't try with. Like, I wouldn't even mention that you super chat. I would quietly come in the super chat.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Don't say a word.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you see it run, don't open your mouth, and then you automatically win. Oh my God, that was great.
Let's see. So
Hold on, I'm gonna do a hashtag. I haven't done a hashtag yet, people.
it'll be hashtag old line 2.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yep, old line 2.
All right.
And then Charles the Right Guy. So who's the other?
Yes, Charles won. I mean, I'm glad these people are getting it. It's just, I thought tonight would be easy because all I have is
You had one damn job, and you effed that up
we did 3 giveaways.
times 3.
And good thing we didn't do like freaking Weller or something. I mean, you have
No, but you did do your Barrel King
I mean,
Stag
I
Barai.
know, but you have to honor it. You know,
That's right, you do.
I'm all about that.
You do.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. O line 2 is what you said.
Yes, the number
number
2.
two.
The number
Yes.
2. Show me the proof.
Yeah, we got Okay, cool. We got 13 people.
Shauna can be hired. There you go. Yeah.
Oh man, that was bad.
Would Shauna be willing to come down here every Thursday?
You know what? We'll just have her remote in. She can do a lot better remote in than I can in person.
Evidently.
Evidently, you're right. Man, I can't believe I did that. You have no idea what I was thinking when I saw those keys.
It's like, how many keys are there?
You know, I'm hearing a song in my head.
Oh yeah, what's
I'm a
that?
loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
Oh my goodness. That was just...
Oh, Gandhi says Shauna would quit quicker than Charles. That's right. Charles would quit. Charles would be fired.
Oh my god, that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible.
Wow. Old line 2, guys. The number 2 gets you another round of the old line list.
That stack bar right is great for us. So, you know, 3 people are going to enjoy it. And no keys should be entering this.
No, Keith Miller just did.
I know. I'm joking.
The bourbon bitch is here. Welcome.
Oh, nice. You just missed the most jacked up duck race ever.
So again, as far as the Derby goes, if you have a favorite horse that you would like to select for the Derby, enter that into the chat here, and then Charlie will go back and pull that list
And
together.
I will accept it all the way up till let's do noon on Saturday.
Okay, so after tonight, they'll have to send an email to you.
Correct.
Till
noon. Because you want to do some research and you really want to kind of concentrate on it.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys till noon. We haven't even announced what we're going to give away yet, and honestly,
No.
it ain't going to be freaking stacked bull ride. I tell you that.
So
we'll think of something that's nice.
yeah. So after the show's over tonight, if you have not entered your horse, send us an email to bourbonandballz@gmail.com, and we'll get that on the list for the drawing on Saturday.
Yes, Keith, you too. You won. I just don't know which Keith actually won, so we're going to go with both.
We're going to go with both of you.
That's freaking awesome. That's so bad. All right, here we go for the old line.
Got 25 on, 20 entries. Give another 30 seconds.
right.
Hashtag old line 2. Get in there.
Swear to God.
That's classic.
Like, I hope Rob wins because Rob was like up there.
Yeah.
I was like, I pray to God Rob wins and all my troubles are gone.
You were sitting there cussing yourself the whole time. Being quiet.
All
All right. I think we're
right,
ready.
let's roll. Here we go.
Cheers, Mr. and Mrs. Lori J. and Richie J.
Who wins the second sample set of the old line, which is like I said, I like the rum one.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good set. John McLaughlin.
I don't think we've ever seen anything to him.
I don't think so. Send us an email for your contact information, John.
Well, John, are you getting here? I imagine you are because we just did this.
Yeah, there he is, John. He just 946. Yeah, John, if you're here, say hey.
Freaking Gandhi. He's like, Charlie, I think my dad called me Keith once. Does that count? That's pretty good.
John's here. Cool.
All right, awesome.
All right, we'll get that out to you. So like I said, send us an email
John.
with your mailing information, and we'll get this out to you.
What an absolute crap. And never failed.
I think you and I did really well.
I think we did really. I think we did what we were supposed to do.
Exactly.
And you found a way to just shut up. Oh man.
All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. You guys have done a wonderful job on sticking through all this.
Yeah.
You always know the last half an hour of each show is always.
It gets crazy.
And I do want to say thank you to you guys for having me back
hey,
on. I think
thanks.
it's been a year
Yeah.
since I've been on
Yes.
the camera. I appreciate you guys, and everybody chat. It was fun, and our guest, he gave me I give him a special thanks because he gave me a really good lesson in American single malt. You know, I mean,
What? Just in general.
I mean, yeah, just the questions that he answered, and you know, I feel like I got a really nice lesson in what it's all about, and obviously the products were good too, but
right.
You know, I really appreciate him, and you know, he said his time and answering all the questions, and I really enjoyed tonight.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on, and you know, thanks because you know Charlie would have been a real shit show.
If it was bad when he's off camera, it would have been worse if he was on camera, right? Yeah.
Pretty damn sure.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right, guys. So, hey, don't forget next week is a huge
right.
show for us. We'll have Bill
Yeah.
Breyer here in studio. I think Beth's going to stop by too.
Oh, excellent.
So,
Excellent.
I
Okay.
mean, because you know
That's incentive for me to come by.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Get everybody in the
Beth
house.
and Bob in the background, and we'll have Bill McBrayer here. We're also on Whiskey Sippers, I believe, next Thursday.
Are we? Did you commit to that? I didn't know we committed to that.
Maybe.
Whiskey Sippers next Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, and then 8 o'clock here.
Yes.
So we're pre-gaming with Whiskey Sippers.
Yeah. So
Good to know.
Depending on what time Bill shows up, he could probably get on Whiskey Sippers and then introduce himself. So we'll shall see.
We shall see.
All right, everybody. We will see you guys next week.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Bourbon, all that good stuff.